Greetings, delegates and guests. I'm Sean O'Brien, General President of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. I'd like to give my peeps from the greatest state in the nation, Massachusetts, some props. What's up? First, I want to thank the hardworking Teamsters and union members here in Milwaukee who play vital roles in the building and operations of this convention. I also want to thank President Donald Trump for opening the RNC's doors to the Teamsters Union and inviting me to speak before you tonight. I travel all across this country and meet with my members every week. You know what I see? An American worker being taken for granted. Workers being sold out to big banks, big tech, corporates, and the elite. And I'm not the only one who sees this. Everyday families see it. The American people aren't stupid. They know the system is broken. We all know how Washington is run. Working people have no chance of winning this fight.
There is a divide in America, but it is not between left and right. It's between an extremely polarized elite and a surprisingly unified working class. One of the most universal things I heard from working class Americans was the value of hard work. I can't think of a single person I interviewed who didn't tell me that working hard is a value they learned as children and is central to their identity. Work means dignity and independence and autonomy and pride and freedom. It means having something no one can take away from you, even when work is scarce, even when the conditions aren't ideal. The Marxist view of work as inherently exploitative, something people would ideally be freed from, has taken on new life on the American left, as well as even some corners of the free market right with ideas like universal basic income. But the working class Americans I spoke to did not view work as exploitative. They viewed the value of hard work through an almost spiritual lens as a precious inheritance that they had got from their parents. They remembered seeing their parents getting dressed to go to work every day to provide for their families. And it is essential to how they see themselves as Americans and a great source of pride no matter what they did. So there's this common view in the elites that no one wants to clean toilets, so we might as well just import people from failed socialist states to do that. And it's just nonsense. I interviewed a lot of people who you can meet in the book who get a lot of dignity from cleaning toilets, and yet they cannot afford to feed their families doing this work because they're competing with teams made up completely of illegal immigrants.
But on our side of the aisle, there's a lively, important discussion about the government's role. And I will tell you, good policy, in my mind, is never made in haste. The national mood may change. Basic laws of gravity and economics don't. I think of economics as biology. A lot of my contemporaries think of it as math and physics. It's not. It is a living organism, and we have to be very careful when we adjust the organism. And I think that that is this great discussion that's going on here. Our side can broadly be defined in two camps: traditional free market advocates who want to reduce the government's role and promote international trade. On the other side, a newer generation of conservatives are pushing back against orthodoxy, favoring a more active approach to greater self-sufficiency for the U.S. economy. At the heart of the debate are a range of tools like targeted support for specific types of economic activity and tariffs on imports. I will refer to these policies under the umbrella of industrial policies. In my view, we must take the best insights from different parts of the conservative movement to shape an economy that delivers for the American people and safeguards our national security.
But in terms of my current race in the House, I just want to highlight this. I am proud to be endorsed by the affiliated construction trades, the insulators, the boilermakers, the carpenters, cement masons, IBEW, iron workers, laborers, operating engineers, painters, plumbers and pipe fitters, sheet metal workers, the UMWA, which is the United Mine Workers of America, United Steel Workers, and the Teamsters. All of these organizations came behind me in my Republican primary as a conservative and endorsed me in this election, which we were very successful in. I was in a 5-way primary, and we won by 25 points. This was an issue, by the way, that really didn't come up during the primary. It wasn't something really talked about as a negative in West Virginia.
So as we gather today for the 4th Conference on National Conservatism, we do so with the wind at our backs. The left is in a global panic, and the corporatist right is utterly irrelevant. National conservatism today is the undisputed majority political coalition and persuasion, not simply in the Republican Party and in America, but across the West. We are not part of the conservative movement. We are the conservative movement. And yet, national conservatives must express this fact not as a boast, but as a responsibility. The country we love, the country we would lead, is in grave danger. Helping America through this moment will be the greatest challenge any political coalition has faced since the Civil War. But we're up for this challenge for the same reason we're national conservatives in the first place. We see the fight we're in for what it is. Our movement is America's slow-kindled corrective to the Washington Republican establishment's willful neglect. We are America's answer to the hollow men who betrayed our workers into corporate exploitation, our taxpayers into unsustainable debt, our sons and brothers into unwinnable wars, and our citizens into unconstitutional servitude.
Again, governing is about solving problems and, yes, helping people. Specifically, solving the problems most acute to the nation and its citizens, and specifically those problems which they can least solve themselves. Now, to be clear, solving problems, helping people, doesn't mean giving them things, declaring a better world by fiat. Those are the foolish mistakes our progressive friends make all too often. Conservatives bring to the task of governing the insight that what appears at first blush to be helpful, providing a handout, making a rule against something we don't like, may create the wrong incentives or have unintended consequences. Conservatives also recognize that those governing may themselves have the wrong information or incentives and fail to understand the problem or pursue a useful solution at all. But none of that justifies the libertarian conceit that government's only job is to get out of the way, which has infected conservatism for decades, supplanting Reagan's prudential, positive, and yes, wildly popular approach with a desiccated do-nothingism that consistently loses. We have a lot of work to do. The fusionist coalition that Reagan brought together unfortunately left market fundamentalists in control of economic and domestic policy, while conservatives were left to focus on so-called social issues, though that could only be in the form of vocal lamentation, no messing with the market. And then the anti-communist hawks were given foreign policy and free rein to embark upon their adventures. We could spend hours discussing whether and why that coalition made sense in the context of the Cold War. But 35 years after the fall of the Berlin Wall, there is no question it is long past its expiration date. And as I said before, national conservatism has been instrumental in tossing it on the rubbish heap.
However, I found it odd that as Republicans, when Amazon or Meta comes to us and says, hey, we'd like to offshore our manufacturing base, get a race to a bottom with wages and health insurance, we'd like to censor conservative speech on platforms and eliminate all of our collective bargaining rights, we say, well, how can we help you? For many years now, I really believe that our party has been blinded to what Sohrab Ahmari calls private tyranny, or tyranny incorporated. Corporate interest groups wrap themselves in ideas that are really important to conservative Americans. things like reducing government waste or cutting taxes. But at the heart of it, corporations have one key goal, and that is maximizing their profits. Don't misunderstand my remarks today to think that I don't think corporations should make money or that American businesses shouldn't succeed. But as elected officials, as Riley Moore told us, we have more to our tapestry, more accountability to the people of America rather than companies that try and run this country.